Step 1. Preparing your server. First of all, you need to download the server Bukkit. So Bukkit 1.3.1 R2. You download it, but check the compatibility with the latest development build or recommended build. But for this video, I'm going to use the development build 1.1.4, and let's get started. First of all, you make a new folder for your server. Open the folder, and okay, I'm back. Open the folder and put the Bukkit and your running badge, if you have one, in your folder. First of all, we want the server to generate all the server files, so run the server. So the server is successfully set up. You can stop the server from running and configure your server.properties with your IP and everything else that you need. That's just it for the preparation. You'll need to download all these files, the ones you need, and let's get to step 2. Step 2. Installing Minecraft Remote Toolkit. First, you open the WinZip archive, or you can use WinRAR, WinZip, 7-zip, or other programs like that. You only need server dir, which stands for server directory, and you only need these 4 files. So open your server folder and drag and drop them into your server folder. It will ask, do you want to merge these files? Just do yes, and do not forget to rename your Bukkit 1.3.1 blah 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 to just Bukkit. And that's all you need to do to install Remote Toolkit, but you need to run your server with Remote Toolkit badge. So I'm going to show it to you. So now the Remote Toolkit is successfully installed. Why do we need this? If the BukkitGames are done, it will automatically shut down the server, but with Remote Toolkit it will automatically restart the server. So if I do the command stop, it will save the chunks, and here you see it restarting. This will always restart if the games end or if the server crashes. To have more to say about Remote Toolkit, except that you can edit all these configurations, like how much memory you want to dedicate to your Minecraft server. So that's just it for the Minecraft Toolkit. We're going to continue to step 3, installing the plugins. Installing the plugins. You need 4 plugins: Vault, the BukkitGames, I use the development build, the Skyscraft for the advanced abilities, and a permissions plugin which I use Permissionsex. So open your server and open plugins. You will see Minecraft's Remote Toolkit plugin here in your plugins folder if you have successfully installed it. If you pay a hoster, you can always send a ticket to the hoster to use the Remote Toolkit badge. So you drag and drop all these 4 plugins into your plugins folder and run the server with Remote Toolkit Windows badge. So the server is done running or loading the plugins, so all the configuration files are generated. If you have successfully generated configuration files, then you normally would have 4 folders here, including plugin metrics, which you don't need to use. First of all, this is just installing the plugins. I will tell you how to configure the BukkitGames later in this video. Let's proceed to the next step. Four, configuring the abilities. So open your server folder, go to your plugins, the BukkitGames, and then abilities.yml. Here you see all the abilities, and for 17 you need to enable advanced abilities in the config.yml, which I will show later. So first of all, editing some abilities. You can edit abilities with duration, you can edit description and distance. So when eating and cooking you get strength, so you can change the duration to 15 seconds, so for 15 seconds you will have the enchantment of strength. And for ability 7, mostly hunter, pigs always drop 2 pork chop. You can set it to 5, so amount 5, so pigs will always drop 5 pork chops if somebody with a kit with ability 7 kills a pig. For ability 9, headshot, instant kill a player. So for example, I stand on a tree 30 blocks away from somebody, I hit him with an arrow, and it will be an instant kill from a distance from 30 blocks. You can change it to 25 or 20. I'll change it to 25, and yeah, you can change this headshot a player. Okay. So crops are grown immediately, like farmer. So if you plant melons, it will be automatically grown. So right click with a stone axe, Thor. So cooldown 15 seconds. You can configure that to 10 seconds. So each 10 seconds you can let lightning strike a block. And for the other abilities, like 13, with a blaze rod you can make items from other players broken. So the chance is how many chance that you have on 10 to break an item. So I will set it at 3 and cooldown to 10 seconds. Like here, cannibal, if you kill a player your food level will be healed, so I call that cannibal kit. And here you can steal other players' items, chance 5, thief, cooldown, you can change that to whatever you want, like 15 seconds. Here's ability 16, also called ghost. If you eat an apple, you are invisible for 6 seconds. You can change that to 10 seconds and change the duration here. Also the cooldown, you can change it to 20 seconds, so each 20 seconds they can eat an apple. Invisible, the message when you eat an apple, so if you eat an apple it will say you are now invisible. Okay, for the ability 17 you need to enable this in the config like I said before. 18, with the fist you make damage like a stone sword. Ability 19, also called Viper by me. Chance is too high, so I set it to 6 and the duration to 10. Or no, set it to 9. So each second they would get hit and maximum 3 hearts damage. And for the last ability, modes don't attack you until you attack them first. Something like Night Elf or something like that. So this is the configuration for abilities, the duration, the description, the cooldown, and the messages is all that you can configure here. So let's proceed to the next step. Okay, the config.yml, the longest part of this tutorial, is you go to your plugins, the BukkitGames, and go to your config.yml. Okay, so here max game length in minutes, so 90 minutes is a bit too long, so I'm going to put this to 30, so each game will last a maximum of 30 minutes. The increased difficulty, I prefer to set this at 26 minutes, so at 26 minutes all the players will be teleported at spawn to kill each other, and they can run if they want. So the countdown to the start of the game, so it was 4 minutes earlier in this video, but I prefer 6 minutes, so I'm going to put it at 400 seconds. I advise you to set it at 600 seconds if you have more than 48 players, or 96. So the duration of invincibility, you can set this to 70 seconds, 60, but I prefer to keep it at 1 minute of invincibility. Okay, so the messages, the world border and stuff. So server title, you can change this to whatever you want. Mine is Dark's Hunger. if they want help, you can always set your website there, like darkshunger.cc.co or something like that. No kit permission, can change all of this, or game is in progress, try server B. But remember, you cannot place a double dot in the config. So advanced chat, the HUD, heads up display, I like to keep this at false. It's easier to PM your friends in game. So the 6 tips, my tips are normally like /kit barbarian to choose your kit, so they will know how to choose a kit if there is no admin line. So the server runs the Bukkit game plugin. If you don't want the anti-xray, you can say no diamond. Okay, so the advanced abilities, set this to true if you want to use chameleon or ability 17. So world border radius, I like to keep this at 250. That's big enough, and the minimum players to start with, so they won't be able to cheat with coins with the advanced winning system. So keep this at 5. So the compass, just keep it at true. Auto update if you want it true, so it will always update the closest player in range, but keep it at false if you don't want to have lag on your server. The death sign, so if a player dies, it will say rest in peace Darkfard and 2 lines which you can configure in deathsign.yml. I set this to false because my players don't find it necessary to have that, but I don't know if it would prevent a bit lag, I don't know. So what should the server run in order to restart the server? So if you do /stop, the server will restart and a new game will begin. You can do this .reset or .rt, I don't know, but I just like to keep it at stop. So regenerate world, if you want to have a custom world, you just need to do it here in the BukkitGames and make a new folder called world. If you do this to true, if you do this false, sorry, my fault, regen world false, it will use this world in a BukkitGames configuration folder. But we will keep it to true, so we don't need this world. And spawn chest, so it will spawn chests with items in it to help the players with food or armor or weapons. If you do this to true, it will broadcast the spawn chest and its coordinates. So the random start, this is quite to prevent teaming. Some players like to team with 8 or something like that, but if you split them, teaming will be prevented and small teams will be formed. So the simple reward, sorry. Last winner gets all kits for 1 round, so if I win this game, the next game I will have some sort of VIP. I will have all the permissions for the kits. So the advanced winning system, you need to have MySQL database, so I'm going to show you later in this video how to get one for free. And you need to configure it in Reward.yml here, which I will show you later also in the video. The points for coins, lol. If you win the game 5 times, you will have 5 coins, and with that 5 points, you can buy 1 coin. And with that coin, you can buy 1 kit in the rewards.yml. You see it here, then you can buy these 3 kits, but we will change it later in the video. So if you want MySQL to true, you can set it to true, sorry, and just save it. But for now, we're going to keep it false and save. So this is it for the config.yml. We'll leave it as it is. Let's proceed to the next step. Step 6, configuring deathsign.yml messages. So go to BukkitGames, deathsign, and maximum lines that you can edit is 3rd line and 4th line. The 1 and 2nd, just don't touch it. So you maximum 15 characters per line. So I go, for example, rest in peace Darkfard, he fought very brave. So every time a player dies, it will show, for example, rest in peace, Darkfard, he fought very brave. So I don't have much to tell. You need to enable this in config.yml. If you don't enable it, it won't show up the signs. So this is short. Let's proceed to the next step. Okay, making kits. Go to your plugins folder and BukkitGames and then kit.yml. Okay, so you have kits, barbarian, miner, fisherman, and more. So these are the kits with the potions and abilities. So for example, here you have ability 1 for archer. So we're going to search for archer. Is there an archer here? Archer, yes. So it has ability 9, but we want it to have ability 1. So if archer has ability 1, an arrow that hits the ground will explode. So we can save it. But the normal players don't have permissions for archer, so we will need to add the permissions. I will show that later in this video. I think it's another 2 steps. So you need to add archer to your kits line. So if you do /kit, they will see, oh, they have archer. For example, we have orc too, so add orc. But now you want your own kit, so we just scroll down, paste barbarian here, and for the tutorial we're going to do a kit tutorial. Oh, sorry, tutorial. And you want it to have the items of tank. You're going to add it here. It's going to be a very pro class. The potion of healer, so you can add your own potions. And we want tutorial to have the ability number, let's say blah 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 19. So tutorial will be able to poison players, and will have insta heal with his potion, full armor, a sword, and yeah, that's it. So tutorial. But what's the problem? Tutorial is not in the list. So also, if you have created your list, your kit, I mean, you need to add here your kit. So tutorial, whoa, tutorial. Okay, note, you cannot use any capital letters here. So only capital letters here. And here's some extra explanation if you do not understand what I say here. Lol. Okay, actually not much to show. Just here item IDs, quantity. Does the item ID have a, for example, this is an enchantment, so enchantment number 32 and level 1. Yeah, that's practically it. And orc has a potion. I don't know which one, but this is a potion for orc. Okay, so tutorial is here on the list. I will add permissions later for tutorial kit and archer. Let's proceed to the next step. Step 8, Reward.yml. This Reward.yml is for the kits that you can buy with the coins. So I created tutorial kit, so I'm going to add tutorial here, and then with the coins they can buy that kit or any of these 4. You can add like chameleon 2 or barbarian and other stuff. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Not much to say about it. It's pretty easy. It's actually obvious, and yeah, let's proceed to the next step. Okay, for the permissions and the VIP, go to your plugins and Permissionsex and open your permissions.yml. So to add a permission for the normal players, so default is true, you just do bg.kit for kit and then .barbarian. So barbarian is actually a free kit. And if you want other groups like VIP, you're going to copy this and paste it here, and then you can delete this and rename it to VIP. And then you can do vip.kit.star. Oh no, sorry. BukkitGames, so bg.vip.star. Wait, oh my god, what the? Okay, VIP. And then you can add, for example, another one. bg.kit.star. So the VIPs will have a red name and access to all kits with this permission. And for example, VIP will be able to use tutorial kit, and tutorial and barbarian and chameleon or whatever. But the normal players, so group default, will only have barbarian. So actually that's just it for the permissions. For example, you want to add a player to the VIPs, then here you have the player name. For example, I'm going to change this to Darkfard, and in the worlds he's going to be a VIP, so he is going to have a blue name. So Control save, and this is it for the permissions. Not much to show you. We will test in game later in the video. Okay, so for the anti-xray, step 10, we're going to use Authenticator, and then you go to plugins and drag and drop it. So Authenticator is here, and then you just run your server once, so it will create the config files. Okay, so the config file is loaded, you can close your server, and here you see the config. So actually what you just want to do is put your engine mode to mode 1, so it will be a bit lighter and your server will have less lag. That's the only tip I have for anti-xray. Let's proceed to step 11. Okay, so step 11 is AntiCheat to prevent hackers from hacking on your server. Just drag and drop the AntiCheat in your plugins folder, start up your server and reload. I'll be back when it's loaded, and here you see the game will start in 6 minutes, so that's a little bit evidence. So here we have the config folder, and we just are going to change one configuration, and that is alert when xray is found, and we will set this to true. This is very good and will alert when somebody mines too many iron in a short time. That's the only thing I have to say about anti-xray. Thanks. Let's proceed to the next step. Okay, so to prevent some lag, just go to plugins and install the plugin Nolagg. Just drag and drop it here like I did with AntiCheat. Reload your server and it will prevent lag. It will spawn less monsters and stuff. But I have some tips too. If you go to your plugins, the BukkitGames, and your config, it is very good if you just put advanced chat to false and also the auto update compass to false. And that's it for the anti-lag tips. Maybe you can set spawn monsters to false, because it will not need to spawn monsters anymore, and that will cause less entities. So that's good too. So let's proceed to the next step. Okay, now for getting the MySQL, just go to the site in description, and normally here you will see free MySQL. Then you just need to sign up here, and they will email you all your data about your username, your password, your host name and stuff. I can't show mine because it's private, sorry. And that's all I have to say. Here you can get your free SQL. For the Multicraft that I was going to show you is just one thing. Normally if you rent a server like I did, so my name is Deldark, you log into your server and just go to your files and your configuration files. You can't do anything with my password, so I don't mind you seeing this. So if you go to plugins, just put everything there. You don't need to have our toolkit and stuff. So that's the only thing I have to say about the Minecraft Multicraft. So we're just going to show you how to do an offline server with authentication. Okay, so quick, the xauth, just do it in your plugins, put xauth there, let it create a database, and that's it for offline authentication. But you need to be online. You need to set online mode to false, so online mode is false. And actually, that's it. How to configure xauth. Let's proceed to the last step. Okay, and step 16, if you have any bugs to report, you can always create a ticket here, and the ticket manager is Kevin is Epic and also Galodistic. He replies somewhat often to your tickets. So I'm going to give you an example, like here, your kits of here config.yml. Then what is the issue? Yeah, you have to do a short survey or that or something like that, and they will answer as quick as possible. So thanks for watching to this tutorial. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, the BukkitGames here tickets, or just in the comments. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe.